That's because we could have a whole podcast on George Costanza too.
Yeah. Jerry?
No one's going to listen to that.
Everyone would listen to that.
Everyone.
I'm not.
Well, we'll be
It's the summer of George.
great.
That's great. Yep. What's up, everybody? Welcome back, ladies.
What episode is this now?
I don't remember.
It's episode 2 with the wives.
2 with the wives. We've got, I don't know, man, probably in the 50s or so, I'm guessing.
You used to say it every time.
Yeah.
No, I
He's
used
slacking.
to. Yeah, oh, man, am I ever. But we don't want to talk about that right
It's
now.
got to be
Yep.
30s or 40s at least, right?
I think
Let's
I think
call
we're
this
probably
one-
close to the 50
Let's
Let's
range.
call
Yeah.
this one 45/47
Okay.
Oh,
for President Trump.
Oh,
that's good. I like
okay.
it.
There you go.
I got
Okay.
it right
I'll-
I
away.
got
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I'll lead in with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So you guys don't prepare.
So
It's a little
I told you that. Nope.
Oh,
no, not
what
the
are we-
right
what are
one.
we
I was
looking
looking
for?
for the
Try again.
pom.
he needs to label him. It's the
There it is.
That's the one.
There
I was
it is.
looking for that one. 45, 47.
Yeah, I need a label. We
Yeah.
need to put
Let's put
Label
a smiley
maker.
face on that one.
There's
That's
a
all
little
we need.
card that has you can label them. I need to do that. Yeah. So for I mean, like I told you, I'm not prepared real well. I have thoughts, but it probably just base it off of what you have to say. But we are going to talk about the election cycle we're in, and man, by the time this comes out, we might be hitting the polls.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah. So we're gonna have to release this one before because this is my prediction.
prediction. Okay.
Yeah. So
We
we'll have
might
to
we
release
may do this one first, and then I would say too, maybe we have to be prepared to do a like impromptu Gotta Talk podcast on
Yeah.
all the happenings, because I think people think
too.
things are gonna go nuts one way or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are gonna go nuts one way or the
One
other.
way or the other.
Stockpiling beans and rice.
That's my brother. That's my brother.
Should have
TP.
him on this episode.
Uh,
Some TP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we have plenty of that from COVID still.
You still got a
We have-
stockpile.
We have a.
Don't.
We do have a box of that one ply
Oh,
up there on the shelf.
yeah.
One ply.
Yeah.
That was
God,
So
bless. That's
it's
the
up
last,
there.
That's
Palm,
the last resort.
POM. Palm. Yellow box.
Last
one ply.
resort.
That's right.
Last resort.
Yeah, that's
man.
why it's up there.
Yeah,
It's
last
up there.
resort.
In
I
case
think
I go camping
you can
or.
you can barter with that stuff at some
That's
point.
exactly
point,
what that
yeah.
is. It's for
Yeah.
bartering.
Bartering.
I'd rather
yeah.
have one ply than no ply.
When the dollar
It's true.
crashes, we got a text from someone saying that we should pull our money out of the bank, and
Who was it from?
we don't have to say.
Kamala.
We don't have to say who it was, but
Family member?
Maybe one of my
maybe a family
family
member.
members.
Yeah. And I was like, there's a couple of things there. A, how much money do they think we have? That's one.
Yeah, that-
and then
I need
two, if everything just collapses, it ain't gonna matter. Like you might as
Right.
well use it as TP. Right?
Yeah, you're gonna
So,
pull your
yeah.
money out
Yeah.
of the bank
To have cash for what?
because your dollar's crashing.
Yeah, and then I'll have
So then you
crushed,
have toilet
crashed.
paper, which would be $1 bills.
Yeah, crashed dollars, which probably is like worse than one ply, I imagine.
See, I know somebody that's related to me too.
Well, that's good. I think.
that it's like we got to put money out. And like, if it's gonna get that bad, then we're all
We're in trouble.
we're all in trouble.
We're in
So,
trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
So this episode 45/47, we're going to talk about the Great Donald and our election
Duck?
prediction. No, the OG.
The Donald.
Oh, Trump.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Trump.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
So I'm going to run through here, and you guys all have notes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got quite
Yeah.
a bit.
So,
I got a lot right here.
Once again, and that's a paper that I brought too that the ladies are passing around. So once again, I'm carrying the weight of this podcast.
Yeah, legs
But-
legs
Wow.
getting stronger, back getting stronger.
He's so humble.
I am humble, just like Trump. So here I'm going to read through the Electoral College. These are the solid red states and their Electoral College votes.
Wish I had some kind of like awesome like Dateline type music that we could play in the background.
Wow,
need
like
to-
Unsolved
Yeah.
Mysteries? That's good music.
Well,
fact
I
check.
got that. Nope.
No.
Golly.
Nope.
No.
Nope. There it is.
There it is.
That show gives me nightmares to this day, by the
creepy.
way. Oh, the guy in the trench coat. And they still haven't been caught.
They still have.
All
They're
right.
still out there.
So
outside of your house.
this is my prediction for the 2024 presidential election. I think Trump is that a
No,
are you agreeing
I'm
with me
not.
already? She's agreeing with me already. I think he's
Stay tuned in, folks.
so if you don't know, it's
Forever.
Trump versus a Democrat. And that's Miss Harris. I can't say her first name. Kamala.
Correctly.
Kamala.
Sorry.
Kamala.
We're probably getting
Now the
Listen
FBI
to
is.
No,
listening.
what I'll do
Please.
is I'll
take my
I'll
bank
tag
account.
this episode with her name and Trump's name, and
Yeah.
we'll get
VP Harris.
We'll get like
millions of views.
million,
Hashtag
billions and
Harris
billions.
Billions.
All right, so I think he's going to get about 55% of the popular vote. So if he can get that, then that's more than he ever had in the other two elections. And if he can get that, then that's considered like a landslide in presidential.
Yeah.
Terms.
Makes sense.
So the states that are solid red: Idaho 4, Montana, Wyoming. I'm not going to give all the points. Utah, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa, Missouri. Some people say Texas is like a purple state, but it's
Nah,
red.
it's red.
Texas. It's the second best state in the union. Texas.
What's number 1?
Oh, I don't know. Just
know.
Kansas.
Was that your Trump impersonation?
Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, South Carolina, Maine, District 1, Florida, Arkansas. So that gives him a solid 219. So how many does he need to win?
220, right?
Holy moly. 270.
Sorry, 270.
They all went
Oh.
to Christian
something.
school? Christian school?
Stop it.
Public school?
I graduated from public school.
Oh,
so
that's why you don't
the
know.
Problem.
You didn't have American history. So you need 270 electoral college votes to win, right? So that puts him at a solid 219. If he wins back Arizona, which he won in 2016, Georgia, which he won in 2016, keeps North Carolina and wins back Pennsylvania, that'll put him at 281. So that makes him the
That's a win. Okay, great. Episode over.
47th.
So we gotta
she's
we
classy.
gotta stay up late and watch this probably then.
You could.
Well, at least till 2:00 in the morning when
Yeah.
they start trucking in.
So what's going to
ballots.
happen is he'll
The
get the
fake votes.
he'll get to 219 quickly, right? And then they'll do the Arizona we don't know, Georgia we don't know, North Dakota we don't
Ohio.
know.
we can't count.
We're bringing
Georgia
up the
can't count for a week and a
we
half.
can't So that's what they're going to do. That's what they did in 2020. I'm not going to say that he did or did not win in 2020, but there were some shenanigans going on in 2020.
I'm pretty sure you made the statement that what was the votes that Biden got?
81 million.
I think it's at the
votes.
beginning of one of our previous
Yeah,
podcast
your dad
episodes.
liked that.
We were talking about completely not even
Nothing.
related
Yeah.
stuff, and you're like, 81 million votes. Give me a break.
Yeah. Not true.
Not true.
So I think Trump will get around 312 electoral votes when it's all said and done, and that's a pretty big victory. I don't really know why anyone's voting for her, to be honest with you. I think they're just clueless on actually what's going on. Not saying he's perfect, but there's no way your life is better now, or I don't know anyone's life that's better now than it was then. You
Yeah.
guys?
No.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like financially better,
Financially, the world, the world.
safety,
Mhm.
both home and abroad.
Yeah, I mean the world is on fire too, right?
The world is on fire.
World is on fire.
Yeah.
Like when Trump was in office, they always say he's going to, start World War III. He's going to use nuclear bombs, et cetera, et cetera. He did none of that.
Yeah.
There was absolutely zero wars. New wars started when he was president, right? He leaves office, and I don't know what's going on now, how many
Yeah.
countries are involved over the Middle East, and then other places around the world that we probably don't know about that are actually fighting.
Mm.
So I think he honestly brings a stable, positive leadership to all that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I know they don't like him. They say he's, this evil man, but, people are scared of him at least.
I'm not scared of him.
Yeah.
Well, he's got yeah. So RFK Jr., do you guys know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can one of you guys say his name?
Robert Kennedy Jr.
Good job.
Robert F.
Yeah,
Kennedy
I don't know
Jr.
what the F stands for, but
Fitzgerald,
Ferdinand.
yeah, probably
Oh,
some.
I think
Fitzgerald.
I think. I don't know.
Fitzgerald.
Is that what it is?
Robert
I don't know. I was
Fitzgerald.
thinking Frederick,
Yeah.
but I don't
Someone
know.
leave a comment. in the
Yeah,
video.
leave a
comment
Let
on the
us know.
video.
Also looking for
Comment in the
sponsors,
thread.
RFK.
Yeah, RFK. Since you dropped out, you can
I
sponsor
just know,
us.
isn't that the name of the stadium the Commanders play in?
I don't think anymore.
Oh,
But,
gotcha.
yeah, anyways.
Francis.
Is it
Oh,
really?
that's rough.
Fitzgerald sounds better.
Yeah, Fitzgerald's way better.
So he joined the Trump campaign. That's been a while ago now. And he's brought a different demographic of people
Yeah.
to the Trump,
He always sounds like he's crying.
He has a hard time. He has his voice. There's something
what
wrong
is
with
the
his
voice?
voice.
He always
has-
sounds like he's verklempt, like they would
He's-
say.
What?
He's,
Is
I don't-
that your dictionary word of the day?
I'm a little verklempt.
yeah. But
Yeah.
did you guys see like when Trump brought him on the stage, and it was like, oh, it was just amazing. Like the fireworks were going off, and Trump was making this big, to do, and then Kennedy come out there. It's like, what? He's like, you've never seen a rally like this? And I'm like,
Let's
what?
dance.
Yeah. I can't remember the song that he played, but it was funny. Trump's real big into music. If you didn't know, he picks all his music for all of his rallies.
Yeah, I think he gets in trouble for that too, doesn't he?
Probably. He don't care. He ain't scared.
He doesn't care.
So I think Kennedy's
pay
going
the
to bring. I think Kennedy's going to bring some people over that normally wouldn't vote for Republicans, and he's out there on some of his stuff. But then if you get into the food things, like I know my brother's huge on that stuff, and Kayla's gotten more on that stuff recently too, and a lot of it is true. Like our food is just so unhealthy, and if you guys read like our ingredients or what they have in other countries, it's just,
we do
it's
a lot
brutal.
of. We have a lot of additives too.
Yeah,
A lot of countries don't like it. Yeah, what is the point here with Trump? Is he going to help with that?
Yeah, he's
I haven't heard
RFK
this.
is going to be like his
Chief-
make America healthy again.
Chief-
So basically, get on some of the
May take longer,
regulations.
Take longer than 4 years.
Hopefully not.
they can turn stuff around pretty quick if they want to do stuff. They can get
Vote,
stuff done.
yeah, you can
Okay.
vote stuff in, pass a new bill or new.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever,
that's a real
government
deal.
Guidelines
I think-
for all the poison, essentially.
Yeah,
the food.
I think you go to which I've not done. Don't have. It's not me. I just hear people go to Europe and they'll eat pasta and bread and cheese and drink wine for like 14 days and they lose 10 pounds. It's like, why? Well, because there's nothing in it.
They
But
don't have the yellow dye and the red
Yep.
40 and the
and even just
all
the
bleach.
like yogurt. I like yogurt quite a bit, but if you buy yogurt that's flavored, man, it's just got some nasty stuff in it. So like it's interesting. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't know that.
There's got to be a connection between that and how we're all unhealthy too.
Yeah, I lost my hair.
Yeah, me too.
Your yogurt made you lose your
I think
hair?
so.
Yeah, and I'm buying bigger clothes.
Yeah, like
What
large
is up with that?
large classic, like we
Yeah.
talked about.
Well, I'm not in a large
Yeah.
since 8th grade. But,
Oh, I need
classic fit. Yeah, if
classic
I see
fit.
slim
I can't do
that-
slim anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do slim fit
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Stupid
never
yogurt.
could do slim.
Maybe RFK is gonna get me back in slim fit. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Let's go, RFK.
I'm gonna vote for him for sure now.
I don't have the thighs for
Yeah.
slim fit. So honestly, our country to me is at a tipping point, right? The media is so biased. Most
Yeah.
of the media, I would say, 80% of the media is so bad.
in one way or the other.
There was a poll that was out not too long ago, and it was like some 87% of the coverage on Trump was negative, whereas like 82% coverage on Kamalanga Ding Dong, 82%
Kamala.
was positive. Like, I mean, that's huge
Yeah.
for people that are just watching, their
The sheep.
one news channel.
The sheep out there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you-
that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. Like I know my parents they live in Kansas and they have a little bit like 6 acres, but then the person closest to them has all these Harris signs. So my dad just like, what are you voting for her for? He's like, I'm a big union person. And my dad's like, well, the union now is like supporting Trump. Like you're so misinformed. Like they're just
Well, I think it's traditional Democrat is what
Right.
really people just have a hard time breaking that paradigm. So it's
yeah.
my family's been Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I've been Democrat. I will continue to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
And they don't really worry about the rest. And I think that's why you find folks that probably, like we were talking about a little earlier, that are fabulous believers, love God, and they'll end up voting Democrat. And I truly don't believe they're not looking at it from a biblical worldview in today's situation, right? So I think that's why that happens.
Yeah, 'cause I think for a Bible-believing Christian,
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. You can't vote for the platforms of the Democratic Party
Yep.
and lay your head on your pillow at night. Profess
Yeah, and-
Jesus Christ and His Word. How can you do that?
You
And
can't.
I just don't know how people coincide that.
Oh, I
We
also
say we can't, but then like you have the Catholic Church, and then you get a whole thing on the Catholic Church. But there's going to be millions of people that say they're Christians going to vote for Harris.
well, but that's probably
Yeah,
a
go
different
ahead.
conversation though.
That's-
We
Like God fearing, Holy Spirit believing
Biblical worldview.
Christians.
Yeah.
We can tag
Let's-
that one too if you want, but we can break that down at some point. But I don't like we can talk about the different religions and their approach to that. But yeah, man, I don't think that's. I mean, I totally see that connection is what I would say, and then but it's also like Trump and his platform is not 100% line up with how I believe either,
Correct.
but it is better, right? And so
Right.
I think the problem is thinking in terms of he's not the savior, right? And that's where you get into that far right what do you call it, Christian national kind of thought process where you got to be careful there too. But yes, as a Christian, we do not have a choice. Like you have to go.
And I don't know Trump's heart. I don't know. None of us do. But at least to me, he fights for Christian values. And I have two more talking points. I have the border, and then I have our biblical views. I believe are just under attack. And I know we're in our. I'm assuming we're all close to our 40s here, but like
almost.
Yeah, just about.
Almost. I'm almost 40.
Yeah.
5.
But if you just take it back, when we were kids, our kids did not have to grow up with the nonsense that our kids are growing up with, right? Guys and girls sports. What is it? Transgender. I don't even know all the terms of this stuff anymore.
I think it's them and they.
Them, they.
Z and Zer.
That's
but
it.
It's everywhere. And I don't know if it is everywhere or the media is trying to make you think that it's everywhere. I don't know.
I think it's that, but I also think that our we've talked about this before. The knowledge is there. Like it, we did not have this when we were kids.
Right.
Therefore, even if these things were going on, so I was trying to like compare it to some like the sexual revolution of the 70s, 60s, 70s. Some crazy stuff was going on that was very anti-family, anti-marriage, but no phones, right? So you maybe catch an article or you hear something on the news, but everything was still pretty much geared towards families, I would say. Yeah. And that's just not the case anymore. And then of course the knowledge, and it's in your pocket and it's in your face, and it's all and everything, and honestly leans into probably less of what we need. Right, it's cultural. It's culture driven, not biblical driven. Right. So you got to be real careful there. But I think that's the problem. Is that
well, in our biblical understanding, our biblical IQ, and our what was it last Sunday in church, like people just don't know the Bible at all, and that's scary to me. That we're like in the minority, and like growing up, I always felt like we were the majority. Right, people had a solid foundation and biblical knowledge and all this stuff, and now I feel like people don't. Even those that go to church, a lot of them don't. And that's where you get into where they're voting I'm not going to say the other side, but they're voting for candidates that they really don't line up with biblical values.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You start to define things for yourself. That's what happens. So if the Bible is not what you use to define your truth in every situation, then you define it for yourself. And therefore, you take things like, well, the Bible says to love. Okay, I'm going to love everybody. And it's easy to do, right? Like I also want to love everybody. But there's lines that you can't cross, and the Bible's very clear about those lines. And so the culture starts to define it for you, or you start to define it for yourself, and we are broken people, we are sinners, and then and that's really the direction we start to head, and our society heads, right? Because we don't let the Bible be our definitive truth. So, and we all do it to a degree in different areas, right? It would be arrogant to think that we don't, but as a collective, it's pretty bad. And churches too. Churches are leaning that way too, right? That's what we're neutral on a lot of situations. They don't need to be because it's like, well, we'll drive people away, or well, so what? Like at some point we'll answer for that. So
how in 2,000 years do we go from the early church being willing to give up their life for going against the cultural norms, right? They weren't afraid to get canceled.
Sure.
Now these churches are just too afraid. They're afraid to get canceled.
Yeah.
They want to be culturally relevant.
Yeah.
It's like no.
We're a post-Christian society.
Yeah.
And so like what you find is like where they're willing to do that, like in Asia and Africa and the Middle East, the church is growing. There's like momentum there. And we it's
they take the word of God very seriously.
Well, yeah.
They're
it means everything.
not allowed to have it, right?
It means everything. Yep.
Yeah. So they actually read it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are thinking like this. Jesus is going to return anytime, right? And he might. Like we don't know that. But it kind of drives me nuts when people get on TV because I've been doing it for 2,000 years. Like, it's coming back tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh?
Well, I mean, the disciples even talked about it after he left.
Yeah.
Like, well, he's going to be back.
Right.
I think pretty soon. Like, I mean,
the fact is he is coming back, and he's going to come back like a thief in the night, and people are going to be not ready. But Great Bethany is going to read a couple verses here for us at the top there.
All right.
You're talking too much, Bethany.
2 Timothy 3, 1-5. But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people.
Yeah, so that's been going on for, 2,000 years, and assume it's going to be going on till Jesus returns.
I mean, it's been going on before that.
That's true. Been going on for...
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah,
Since
I get what
we
you're saying.
fell in the garden, right? Like we just...
Correct.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
we're getting closer every day. We're closer to Jesus returning. So people
Sure.
aren't incorrect on that, but...
Yeah, I think too. Like the judgment comes, right,
Mhm.
and that's us too. Even though we're believers, I think
Mhm.
we got to be clear on that. I think looking to the gospel for the brokenness and seeing that in us is important instead of the prosper, right, the prosperity. So I think it's a big deal, and even through this election cycle, that's important too.
Yep.
Taking those thoughts and praying for wisdom and yeah.
And no matter who is elected, I'm going to say elected, not wins, on November 5th, we just need to be prayerful about it, like Adam said, and God's in control. God knows already who's going to be put in office, and try not to stress about it too much. But if you guys want to leave on the comments what you guys think
Oh man,
the electoral
why would you
college
do that?
will be.
Yeah. What do you
Get
think the
some
electoral
action.
college?
Yeah.
We
Get
can do
some
our
Um,
own
action.
polling.
What do you
on
think
your-
of the electoral college? Yeah.
I love the electoral college.
Yeah.
But
Gotta have
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
If you don't have it, it's bad.
Yeah, for
bad,
sure.
real bad.
Real bad.
Bad, horrible.
Bad. It's bad. Yeah, no, it's good. That's good. Good stuff, Lucas. What we got like this will come out and we probably have what's election day?
November 5th.
November 5th
Tuesday.
on a
It's on a
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so what is that? 3 weeks from now? 2 weeks from
Yeah,
now?
it's 2.5,
Three
3
weeks.
2 weeks from Tuesday.
2 weeks from Tuesday. That's right.
Yeah.
2 weeks from Tuesday. So we'll get this one out soon.
Mm-hmm.
And your prediction is Trump takes it.
I think he'll get.
Landslide popular vote.
I think he'll get about 55% popular, and I think he'll get
He'll eke it out.
281. His
three.
prediction,
No, my
281
prediction.
electoral
My
votes.
prediction's 312.
Oh, you think more than the 281?
Yeah.
You're saying
I
he's
think
landslide?
Minnesota.
Crush.
Not Minnesota. That's Walt's country.
Yeah, Walls.
Walls.
How great would it be
Hey,
if Minnesota?
we could
didn't
just
go
say
for
he was on this
Walls?
podcast. He won't know. He'll say he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll tell us he was
Hey,
here.
do you remember when you were on the podcast?
Yeah, I was there.
Was it in
Was it?
China?
Yeah.
Yep,
was in
sure
China.
was. Yep.
Jeez.
In the 70s, I think.
Guy.
Yep.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Pray for us all.
No, that's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
It'll work out. God holds the kings in his hand.
That he
right?
does.
So, that's the thing too. Like it seems to drive fear, and that's the bummer. So, but yeah, make disciples and glorify Him. That's all we got to worry about. Yep. Well, thanks.
You good,
You got any thoughts, Kayla?
Kayla? Bethany? Why is that so funny?
Bethany's so quiet.
Yep. Yep.
She's probably thinking,
We didn't want to talk
So
about what we
much.
think about a lady being in office as a president.
do it.
Listen, I mean,
Ladies.
society, you scroll on social media, they're just like, every woman needs to vote for a woman. Every black person needs to vote for a black person,
Mm-hmm.
which she's only like a fourth black. So we could get on that whole
More
topic.
than me. So.
But no, I mean, like how disrespectful
Yeah.
to think that I'm so subservient or so
Yeah.
stupid
Yeah.
that I need you
So
to
you're
tell
using
me
words on here we don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying, don't tell me who I should
Spell
vote for
it.
just because of my gender. Like,
Yeah. Do you have a problem with a woman leader?
no,
Okay.
not necessarily, but it needs to be the right woman leader.
Sure.
I was going to say
And
I
I
have a
don't think
problem with
she's
the,
right.
the last two that they try to put in office. I have a problem
Yeah.
with those two.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, of course.
The
No,
right,
I'm just
the
curious.
right woman, no.
Yeah.
It would have to be. That sounds a little sexist, but it would have to. It'd have to be right. Yeah.
Esther-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's tough.
Yeah.
To be in that kind of position.
Yeah, it's tough. These thoughts we could talk about even like the structure of the family and our
Right.
churches, and
Yeah.
we can get into a whole like biblical
I
view
have,
of that.
I have no problem with
yeah.
women in leadership positions.
I agree.
Depending on the position and depending on the woman, right?
Yep.
Because we're made different.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I
Complimentary.
just don't
As
think
we
that
think.
you should tell me who I should vote for based on my gender. Like that's just
Yeah.
insulting.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So do we think he's gonna like live through the term if he wins?
I think when
We predicted
Every
both.
time
I think
time
when
I
he
talk about him,
wins-
there's assassination attempt.
Yeah. Every
on
time
him,
we've talked
so
about this,
Yeah.
he.
I mean, I think
maybe
when
release
he
this on the
wins and he's in
6th.
office and he actually has a little more control over how much Secret Service and protection and he's like more in the know, right?
Yeah.
I think he'll be much safer.
Man, I think it's just. I don't even know why anybody wants that junk, man.
And him, like he doesn't need it.
No, it's the arrogant piece, right? Like I think. a
Yeah,
little
he
bit.
he loves the power. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been talking about
Power.
president since the 80s, and he just waited till he
Yeah.
knew he could win.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't going to run against Obama because he knew he wasn't going to beat Obama.
No.
And
I mean, with how many votes that Biden got, Biden would have beaten Obama, right?
80 million.
81
Give me a
million.
break.
Yeah, and then Trump's like, I got more than any Republican or any sitting president ever. They both got more than anyone ever.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
population's really up, huh?
Yeah, population's
Yeah.
up
There's a lot of dead people voting.
twice.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Awesome. It'll be fun.
It'll
This
be-
is going to be fun.
Yeah.
We'll still be here in a month. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I got a lot of rice and beans, so we'll be all right.
Oh, good.
We know where to
Extra
come.
TP. Go buy your TP, folks. Hey,
I
we're
haven't.
looking for sponsors, Charmin. Looking for sponsors.
Or palm.
Or Palm. Either way. We do prefer 2 to 3 ply.
ply.
Oh,
but it's okay.
absolutely.
It's
but
okay.
You got to use what you got to use.
It's okay. Yep. Got to use what we got to use. All right. Well, thanks, Lucas, for
Yep.
that conversation. See you guys later. Adios.